My name is Sarah. I am 45 years old. I live in a small house in a quiet town with my husband, Mark, and our teenage son, Tom. For 20 years, I've been a wife and a mother. I love my family, but sometimes I feel like I'm not Sarah anymore. I'm just a cook, a cleaner, a driver for Tom's school activities. My days are full of washing dishes, folding clothes, and making sure everyone is happy. But what about me? What about my happiness? When I was young, I had a big dream. I wanted to be a painter. I loved colors, brushes, and canvases. I painted flowers, trees, faces, and sunsets. My paintings made people smile. My teacher said, "Sarah, you have a special talent. You could be famous one day." I dreamed of having my own art gallery where people would come to see my work. I felt alive when I painted. But life changed. I met Mark at 23. We fell in love, got married, and had Tom. My paints and brushes went into a dusty box in the attic. I told myself, family comes first. Dreams can wait. But the years passed, and my dreams stayed locked away, forgotten. Mark is a good man, but he's always busy. He works long hours at his office. When he comes home, he's tired. He eats dinner, watches the news on TV, and falls asleep on the couch. He doesn't ask about my day. He doesn't know about the paintings I used to create. He doesn't know how much I loved mixing colors or how painting made my heart sing. Tom is 16 now. He's a kind boy, but he's always busy with his phone, his friends, or his football practice. I drive him to school, to games, to his friends' houses. I feel alone, even in a house full of people. One cold Saturday morning, I was cleaning the attic to make space for old clothes. I found an old wooden box covered in dust. My heart skipped a beat. I knew what was inside. I opened it slowly, and there they were, my paints, my brushes, my old sketchbook. The brushes were stiff and the paints were dry, but the sketchbook was still alive with colors. I sat on the attic floor and turned the pages. I saw drawings of flowers, rivers, and smiling faces. I saw a drawing of my mother, who passed away 10 years ago. My eyes filled with tears. I whispered, "This was me. This was Sarah. Where did I go?" I brought the sketchbook downstairs. That evening, after dinner, I showed it to Mark. I was nervous. My hands shook a little. I said, "Mark, look. This is what I used to do." I loved painting. He looked at the pages quickly, then smiled. "That's nice, Sarah," he said. "But you're a mom now. You don't have time for hobbies." His words felt like a slap. My chest hurt. I said, "Mark, painting isn't just a hobby. It's my dream. It's who I am." He laughed softly like I was a child. "Sarah, we need you here. Cooking, cleaning, taking care of Tom. Painting won't pay the bills." I stared at him. My voice was loud. "You don't understand. I gave up everything for this family. I want something for me." He shrugged and turned back to the TV. I felt angry, sad, and invisible. I went to my bedroom and cried. I felt like my dream was silly, like I was silly for wanting it. For years, I had cooked, cleaned, and cared for everyone else. I thought, who cares about me? Who cares about my dreams? I looked in the mirror. My eyes were red from crying. I said, "Sarah, you are still here. You can paint. You can dream again." The next morning, I made a decision. I went to an art store in town. My heart was beating fast. I used my savings to buy new paints, brushes, and a big canvas. The shopkeeper smiled and said, "Are you an artist?" I paused, then said, "Yes. Yes, I am." It felt good to say it. I set up a small table in the garage. It was my painting corner. Every evening after dinner, I went there. I painted flowers, the sky, the sea. I painted my feelings, my sadness, my anger, my hope. Each brushstroke made me feel alive. I started to smile again. I felt like Sarah, not just a wife or a mom. One afternoon, Tom came home early from football practice. He saw me in the garage covered in paint. He said, "Mom, what are you doing?" I was shy at first, but I showed him my canvas, a painting of a bright sunset. His eyes grew wide. "Wow, Mom, this is amazing. You're really good." I blushed. "Thank you, Tom," I said. He sat down and looked at my other paintings. He asked, "Why did you stop painting?" My throat felt tight. I said, "I thought I had to. For you, for Dad, but I was wrong. I can be a mom and a painter." He smiled and hugged me. "I'm proud of you, Mom," he said. His words made my heart feel warm, like a sunny day. I started sharing my paintings online. I was scared at first. What if people didn't like them? But soon people started writing comments. "Sarah, your art is beautiful. Your paintings make me happy." One day, a woman named Lisa messaged me. She owned a small cafe in town. She said, "Sarah, your paintings are wonderful. Can I show them in my cafe? I'll pay you for them. I couldn't believe it. My hands shook as I typed, "Yes, please." A week later, I went to the cafe. My paintings were on the walls. People were looking at them, smiling and talking. I stood there, my heart full. Tears came to my eyes, but they were happy tears. For the first time, my dream felt real. When I told Mark about the cafe, he was surprised. "You're really doing this?" he asked. I nodded. "Yes, Mark, this is me. I'm not just a wife or a mom. I'm a painter." He looked at me for a long time. His face was soft. He said, "I'm sorry, Sarah. I didn't know this was so important to you. I should have listened." I smiled a little. "It's okay," I said. "But from now on, I'm living for me too." He nodded slowly. "I want to support you," he said. The next day, he surprised me. He hung one of my paintings in our living room. He said, "It looks good here." I felt a spark of hope. Maybe Mark was starting to understand. A few weeks later, Lisa called me again. "Sarah, people love your paintings. Can you make more? I want to hold an art show for you." My heart raced. An art show for me? I said yes, but I was nervous. What if no one came? What if they didn't like my work? But Tom and Mark helped me. Tom said, "Mom, your paintings are awesome. People will love them." Mark helped me choose frames for the paintings. For the first time in years, we worked together as a family. The night of the art show was magical. The cafe was full of people. They looked at my paintings, clapped, and asked me questions. A woman bought one of my paintings, a picture of a blue river. She said, "This makes me feel calm." I felt proud. Tom hugged me and said, "Mom, you're a star." Mark smiled and held my hand. He whispered, "I'm proud of you, Sarah." I felt tears in my eyes, but I was happy. Now, I paint every day. I'm planning more art shows. Tom helps me choose colors sometimes, and we laugh together. Mark is trying to understand me better. He even started helping with the dishes, so I have more time to paint. I still cook and clean, but I'm not just a wife or a mom. I'm Sarah, the painter. I feel strong. I feel free. I found my dream again, and I won't let it go. Sometimes I feel scared. What if my paintings stop selling? What if I run out of ideas? But then I remember, this is my life. I can try. I can fail. I can dream. I can be happy. And that's enough. I look at my paints, my brushes, my canvas. They remind me of who I am. I'm not just living for others anymore. I'm living for me. Thank you, my dear friends, for listening to Sarah's story. I hope you enjoyed it and learned new English words and sentences. This story was about finding yourself, chasing dreams, and being brave. Learning English is easier when you connect with real emotions and stories. If you liked this story, please share it with your friends and keep practicing English every day. Come back for more simple and heartfelt stories. Take care and see you next time.